Everyone, this is Tim with the Vintage Airstream Podcast. Today we're going to talk about the WifiRanger. Their latest product line is the Converge, and this is the Everest product that they sent me to demo and let you guys know what I think. It's not a paid sponsorship, but they did send this out to me. Had a long relationship with WifiRanger. You probably remember way back in the day. We started with the original Ranger, which was, this is the internal router, and I believe it was just a 2.4 gig Wi-Fi product. Here was the outside radio, and they made this cool custom bracket back in the day that said WifiRanger on it. So this antenna was outside the vehicle, the trailer, and it had a cable going between the two, and it was PoE, so that was nice. Powered this power over Ethernet straight from the inside switch, network switch. So this took so what this does is it takes Wi-Fi that's in the park or wherever you are, if it can pick up a Starbucks or something, and it wires it through the cable inside and rebroadcasts it through the inside router so that you can extend the signal into your coach, into your Airstream. So this was the first one. Second one, I think I have on the unit out there. I think they did upgrade between the first one and the second one. They did upgrade the inside unit, made it a little bit faster. That was the Go 2. And the one I have now installed is the Go 2 AC. And the AC just means it has faster Wi-Fi. So it has 2.4 gig as well as 5.8 on the Wi-Fi radio. And so what that does is just makes it connect to the higher speed hotspots that are sometimes available at the parks. So that makes it a lot quicker when it brings it into your Airstream so that you can have faster Ethernet or internet. The very early ones, and I've always let you guys know, the very first ones, you know, they were they did the job, but they weren't necessarily super fast. But over the years, with all these reiterations, including the current AC one, it's actually turned into a really nice product. It does make a difference. I've been camping at a few places where, you know, inside our aluminum Airstreams, we can't pick up any signal, and having the WifiRanger on the outside antenna, I could hit 2 or 3 different hotspots. So I remember one place we were camping near Santa Cruz. We couldn't, we could pick up the campground next to us, and that one was a free hotspot, and the campground we were at was paid. So it actually came in handy for that as well. Also having the outside antenna helps when maybe the antenna that you're parked near, that you're camping near, is maybe that one is slow for some reason. You can just go into the control panel on the Wi-Fi Ranger and pick a different hotspot that's further away. In fact, part of the software improvements is they have different criteria of what to pick for. You could pick for you know, just the quickest to get on quick, fastest, where it connects to the different hotspots that it can see, and it does range testing and speed testing, and it rates them for you, and then it connects you to the fastest one. So they've really done a good job upgrading the software over the years. So this latest one that they sent me is called the Everest. It's part of their Converge line, and they've had a number of these out, but just this year, I think in January, the Everest version came out. And the difference with the Everest version is it has a theoretical range of up to 2 miles. So this is if you have this mounted, you know, on your roof outside, and a clear line of sight to an equally powerful hotspot antenna, then you're going to get that. You can get up to that 2 mile range. You know, typically you don't need that if you're parked in a campground, but I mean, maybe you can pick up the campground next to you if you need to. So this one they sent me is the package where it has the inside router as well. So here's the inside, the one. This will create a hotspot inside. and this will take the Wi-Fi from the outside and route it in via this cable. The nice thing, I think, why this is called a Converge product line is it has integrated LTE, so cellular service. So this one comes with their Freedom Go, and it's actually, I forgot to mention that the whole WifiRanger was purchased by WinGuard, so it's a WinGuard product now, and they've been out for years and years, of course, making antennas, and they have this Freedom Go package data plan through AT&T. And what's nice about it is it's monthly. So if you only camp during the summer months, mostly like what I do, you can just turn on a gigabyte for 30 days for 20 bucks. That might actually be cheaper than campground Wi-Fi if you're going to pay for campground Wi-Fi. And they have 3 gig for 35 bucks and so on. So you can just kind of turn it on when you need it. Maybe just go to the campground. If the Wi-Fi is good, just use it. Otherwise, you just turn it on. And that's all integrated into the one outside antenna here, which is nice. So with the antenna being outside the trailer, of course, you'll get the best coverage and the best range. An interesting thing about the LTE portion is the Everest has a slot, so it has a modem slot for the LTE modem. So when you go to order, you can order which modem category, is what they call it, for the speed you want. This one they sent me is a category 6, so I think it means it has a 300 megabit download, and the higher the number, so there's a 12, a category 12, that'll like double that, so it'll be 600 megabits. So, and I think they have a lesser one, category 4. So just, of course, everybody wants more speed. So of course they cost iteration a little bit higher up. It actually has 2 modem slots, so you could have a medium one and a higher speed one. And I think the way they do with like to get the 300 megabit speeds through LTE, I think they use probably 2 different antennas in here and pick up 2 different channels off the cellular tower. I'm assuming that's how they do that. So let's compare. I'll just use the older product here. This is the original one. This has a antenna, or excuse me, this goes outside, used to mount to your TV antennas, how they were doing it. Of course, on my vintage Airstream, I have a mast that's on the front, and that's where this was mounted, on the mast. And then this cable came out the bottom, and it plugged into the inside router or switch, and it provided power over Ethernet, and it actually powered this. And that was nice because you had this one cable that went through into the trailer. On this new one, this Everest, I noticed that the cable is hardwired coming off the back here, and there's 2 cables. There's one for power. Excuse me, this is the one for power. And you get provided you can have a 12-volt power cable. I think that comes with it. You get optionally a cigarette lighter plug that would plug into a cigarette lighter port, 12-volt power port. And then you have the another one is a transformer to plug into the 110 to power it. That's 3 different ways. And then you have the Ethernet cable, which is going to plug into the inside router. So for me, that's going to be interesting because I do have that one cable running through the trailer all the way up into my location, which is above the bed for the inside router. But I don't have 12 volts running out there, so I'll have to come up with a way to do that. It's a little bit of a bummer that it doesn't have a plug on the back for both of those. That way I could have just unplugged the cable that I had. So that's kind of a little bit of a bummer that it's hardwired. The other thing is this one I was able to put on the mast that I have, and this one requires a pretty good size footprint on the roof. I mean, you can see how how big this is, and it mounts with a number of screws. And I think on the instructions it wants probably like a 2-foot clearance around it, so you want to put it like in the center of your roof and not near anything else. Looks kind of like a shark's fin. So I'm gonna have to see how I'm gonna do that, because a lot of what I do is just testing for you guys and let you know what I think. So I don't want to do a lot of modifications to what I already have. So I might do some kind of mount where I can put this on the pole, even if it's a temporary thing. So there you have it. That is the WifiRanger Everest. It's a gigabit LAN. So the nice thing is, if you have a hardwired laptop or printer that you want to hook up on the inside, you have this 2-mile max range, like we talked about before, under ideal conditions. It does the 2.4 gig Wi-Fi as well as the 5.8. So that's great. If you see a Wi-Fi in the trailer park that is designated AC, this will be to hook up to that and give you the best speeds. And it has the LTE modems inside, optional. You don't have to get that, but it's kind of a nice option because it's fully integrated. On the old ones, you could put in right here. On the old ones, originally, they had a USB slot, and you could plug in a USB cellular modem on them, like the old hotspots that you used to be able to get. I guess you can still get them, but you used to plug into that. And so part of the ranking would be, it would look for Wi-Fi, available Wi-Fi and speeds, and if they weren't available, then it would automatically switch to the cellular modem. But now it's all integrated, and it's outside, because this would have been inside the trailer, and this antenna would be outside. So overall, it's a pretty good looking product. I'll have to see how I can do this. I'm sure on white box trailers, this is no problem, just to put on the sit on the roof. On the Airstream, you might look like a shark, but actually on the newer Airstreams, they're more flat, and then they curve on the ends. So it's probably would be perfectly fine. A vintage one, you know, we don't like to change that profile too much. So I'm gonna try and come up with a mount to stick it on top of my pole, on my mast, and then I will give you some feedback. We're going to be going camping toward the end of June in Oregon, so I'll have a great chance to try it out and let you know. All right, thanks everybody. That's the WifiRanger Everest, and they have an Everest pack, and it has both pieces. You can configure the inside. They have faster inside modems as well, and then you can also pick that LTE modem if you prefer. Anyway, thanks a lot, and I will let you know. I'll do a follow-up video after I get it installed and use it, and let you know what I think. Thanks.